If you're looking to drop a little knowledge and show off at the water cooler today, prepare to take a few notes.
Class is now in session. Laurel Downing Bill, author of the Aunt Phil's Trunk book series, is back for our weekly segment, Alaskan Story Time with Aunt Phil. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yay.
So happy to have you back. We're talking nuns in Nome.
Yeah, you know, you think about the Klondike Gold Rush era and the Nome Gold Rush, you think about miners panning for gold, or guys in a bar swigging down a jigger and playing a game of chance, or maybe ladies named Lil sashaying around saloons, but you don't think about nuns mingling with the masses on those lawless streets of Nome.
So how did they end up there in the first place?
Well, two Jesuit priests contacted the Sisters of Providence in Canada and told them about the need for medical facilities in Nome. You had more than 20,000 people in Nome at this time, and those guys were relying on home remedies for their ills, or they were setting their own broken bones. Some of them were using the native medical healing things, but the facilities were really needed.
So how did they end up funding this much-needed hospital?
Well, they incurred a $7,100 debt to renovate a two-story building right next to the Catholic hospital. And then they opened the doors of Holy Cross a month after they got there in July of 1902. And they convinced the city council to pay for the indigents, and then they charged $3 for a stay in the hospital, or $5 if you wanted a private room.
Whoa.
And that was like $120 in today's money.
Okay, so here's the really interesting part. Apparently that wasn't their only means of income. So nuns, they were frequent visitors to the mines to essentially sell health insurance?
That's basically what it was. Yeah, they spent a lot of time visiting the various mines, soliciting donations, and they went by foot, by horseback, by dog team. But they also offered health insurance to stay in their hospital. So $3 would get you a month's stay, $12 would be 6 months, and then $24 you would get the entire year. And that included your room, your board, your milk, liquor. Of course, that had to be prescribed by a doctor. And the use of their operating room and their bathrooms.
Wow.
That is interesting. So whatever happened to that hospital?
In 1906, they'd already outgrown it, and so they knew they had to build a new one. But prior to that, there was a prospector who was dying, and he asked them to see that he was baptized, and they did. And for his thanking them, he donated all of his holdings to them, and so they quickly sold that property and paid off the debt and had enough then to start building a new hospital. But they also started Carnival in Nome to help the sisters raise the money, and so by 1906 they actually were able then to build a nice new hospital called Holy Cross.
And then in 1911, we're talking Fairbanks?
Yeah, there was a need in Fairbanks, and they saw that, and so they went into Fairbanks and took over the St. Joseph's Hospital, and then they carried the idea of the carnival with them, and they had a carnival to raise money to keep the Fairbanks Hospital going. And a funny thing, and I don't know if it was rigged or not, I mean, I don't know, but the Catholic priest 2 years in a row won the big prize of the car and the diamond necklace.
It was divine intervention.
Divine intervention, yeah. He donated it back to the sisters so they could use it again. And then in the 1930s, Anchorage was starting to grow, and they saw a need in Anchorage. So they came into Anchorage, and they built a hospital between 8th and 9th on L Street, and opened that 52-bed hospital in 1939. And then, of course, World War II, you had an influx of people, so it didn't take long to outgrow that. And they ended up getting a nice land patent, 45 acres, there at Goose Lake and 36th, where you now see the Providence Hospital complex, which just keeps growing and growing and growing.
And there you have it. Some interesting stuff this morning.
Yeah.
Laurel, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Quite the lesson. Take that with you. Tell some friends. They'll be pretty impressed, I'm thinking, this morning.